Today, we're diving into a topic that has been getting very real for anyone building AI products right now: the end of model first AI. For the last few years, the whole industry has been obsessed with the model. And to be clear, model quality really matters. As AI moves out of the chat box and into voice agents, multimodal apps, robots, and real world workflows, the thing users actually experience is not the model by itself. They experience behavior. The timing, the voice, the interruptions, the tool calls, the personality, the recovery when something goes wrong, the way the system decides whether to speak, listen, move, wait, or do absolutely nothing. And that is what this video is about. I gave an open source AI robot a voice using ElevenLabs API. But the interesting part is not just that the robot can talk. The interesting part is what was required for the robot to stay coherent in real time while it talks, listens, moves, uses tools, and handles interruptions. And make sure to watch till the end, because I will show you the exact runtime pattern I ended up with, why the model was not the hard part, and why I think the behavior runtimes are going to become one of the most important parts of AI engineering. When we build the classic LLM app, the architecture looks deceptively simple. User sends text, model responds with text. Maybe you add a tool call, maybe you add retrieval, maybe you stream the output. But once you put that same AI system into a voice or physical interface, everything changes. Now the system has to know when the user starts speaking. It has to know when the user stops speaking. It has to handle interruptions. It has to decide whether to answer immediately or call a tool. It has to coordinate generated speech with audio playback. And in my case, it also had to decide whether the robot should move its head, play an expression, use the camera, or stay still. That is a very different product surface. So I built this on Reachy Mini from Pollen Robotics. It has a camera, microphones, a speaker, and a movable head. The goal was to create a small AI robot co-host that could participate in a live demo. For the voice layer, I used the ElevenLabs API. The runtime decides what Reachy should say or do. ElevenLabs turns the text into streamed speech audio, so the robot actually has a voice. ElevenLabs is the programmable voice layer. And once you hear the robot speak out loud, the whole interaction changes. This is exactly where the product starts to become behavior.
Oh, hello there. Look at you rolling in with that smooth energy. Like the Wi-Fi just got stronger. You're serving main character vibes, no cap.
The basic thing you can do is expressions. This is
Does it show? Oh, I see. Oh, being shy. Oh,
yeah,
being love.
this one it's expressive.
Wow, that's interesting. And you were showing that this is a function, right?
This is a tool call, right? These are just triggering it.
Right.
So there is nothing between the trigger and action actually getting performed. But when you build apps, it's all up to you how you want to manage that. Because the model might be saying, oh, you should do this and this at the same time, but they're incompatible.
Right.
So you have to decide how to coordinate those.
Yeah.
I see you, shining like a fresh firmware update. That entrance just boosted the whole room's vibe. Couldn't help but hit that little whistle. Your lab's got that whole main character aura going on.
No cap.
Can you look around the room?
Scanning the scene with that curious vibe. Your space is about to get the hype it deserves. You've got that actual cinema energy, turning every angle into a main stage moment.
Wow, so supportive. Aw, is it shy? What's happening?
Aw.
Oh, you caught me. Yeah, that was a shy little wiggle. And look at you.
What bag am I holding?
Oh, snap. You're rocking that NVIDIA tote bag.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
On the ceiling light.
Scored.
Serving straight up main character energy with that gear.
How many fingers am I holding right now?
I can see you're holding up 2 fingers right now.
Wow,
Classic
smart.
peace sign energy. And that smile is straight up serving main character vibe.
Let me show you the system. At the bottom, we have the physical robot. camera, microphone, speaker, motors. And above that, we have the local media layer. It owns audio input, audio output, and camera input. Then we have the real-time orchestration layer. This is where speech events, partial transcripts, response lifecycle events, and tool calls come through. Then we have the tool and motion layer. The model does not directly control hardware. It expresses intent. Move left, look forward, play an emotion, take a picture. The runtime translates that into safe actions. And finally, we have the profile layer. This is where the robot behavior is defined. Instructions, voice settings, tool permissions, and follow-up rules. That last part turned out to matter way more than I expected because personality is not just a prompt. Personality is policy. At first, I thought this would be pretty simple. Give the robot a system prompt, tell it how to behave, and we're done. But then the robot would answer correctly, call a tool, and come back sounding like a completely different assistant. The initial response would be in character, then after a camera tool or motion tool, the follow-up would sound like a generic customer support. That is not a model quality issue. That is a runtime policy issue. The personality has to survive the entire stack. And it has to survive the transition from generated text into spoken audio. So I moved behavior into profile files. Each profile can define what the robot says, what tools it can use, what voice it uses, and how it should behave after a tool runs. And that gave me a much cleaner system. I can have a speaking profile for demos, I can have an expressive profile for interaction, and I can have an active listener profile for a live talk. And this is where you realize something strange. Silence also becomes behavior. A screen app can be idle by doing nothing. A robot cannot. If a robot is sitting in front of an audience, doing nothing, still communicates something. It might feel attentive, it might feel dead, it might feel awkward, it might feel creepy. So idle is not a lack of behavior. Idle is a product decision. The next big lesson was timing. Latency is interaction design. In chat, a delay feels like waiting. In voice, a delay feels like awkwardness. On a robot, a delay can feel like confusion. The system might be technically working, but if it pauses in the runtime, the user reads that as the robot being uncertain or broken. And this is why voice is such a critical part of the experience. When the system speaks out loud, timing becomes a part of meaning. The voice is not just output, it's really the part of the interface. That is why I wanted a real text-to-speech API in the loop. ElevenLabs gives me the voice layer, but the runtime still has to decide when to speak, when to cancel, when to wait, and when motion should carry the moment instead of audio. If you're building voice agents, multimodal agents, robotics, or any AI product with tools and state, the runtime is not just plumbing. It's the product surface. This is what I think of as the runtime gap. The models are getting very good, but a lot of AI products still have a very thin runtime around them. Real AI products need response serialization. They need interruption handling, tool boundaries, latency budgets, and profile policy. They need observability and a voice layer that matches that product experience. And this is where I think the next phase of AI engineering is heading. Not just better models, but better behavior runtimes. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. In the project, the model does not directly move the robot. It chooses intent. The runtime chooses action. If the model wants Reachy to move, it calls a tool like move head or play emotion. The runtime decides how that maps to the robot. If the model needs visual information, it does not magically see the world. It asks for the camera. The runtime captures the frame, injects it into the conversation, and coordinates the follow-up. And when it's time to speak, the generated response goes through ElevenLabs so the robot can say it out loud. Once you have a clean boundary, you can inspect behavior. You can patch behavior, swap profiles, change the voice. You can turn speech off entirely. You can make one mode active or another mode silent. A runtime could enforce behavior. So if you're building AI systems right now, here's the playbook that I would take from this. First, stop thinking of the model as the whole product. The model is part of the system, but users experience the full loop. Second, Treat voice as a product layer. If your AI speaks, the voice, timing, interruption handling, and response pacing are a part of that experience. They're not just implementation details. Third, define behavior as policy. Do not bury personality only in one prompt. Define what tools are allowed, how follow ups work, when the system should speak and when it should stay silent. And fourth, debug the runtime before blaming the model. If the agent feels strange, inspect the media layer, session state, tool coordination, and response lifecycle first. The model might be fine, but your behavior contract might be broken. Once AI systems start speaking, listening, seeing, and acting in the world, behavior becomes the product. And the teams that can engineer that behavior reliably are going to have a serious advantage. If you want to try building with ElevenLabs API, I've put my link in the description to start today for free. The API gives you access to text to speech, speech to text, music, sound effects, voice tools, and more. And for this project, I used it as the voice layer for the robot. Again, this video is sponsored by ElevenLabs, and I'm an 11 API partner. If you're building voice agents, multimodal systems, or anything where AI has to behave in real time, I would love to hear what runtime problems you are running into. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.